हेलो गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। मैं आप सबका अपना होस्ट नितिश। आज मैं फिर हाजिर हो गया हूँ आप सबके सामने अपना ब्रांड न्यू पॉडकास्ट लेके। आज हम बात करेंगे बीसीए एमसीए करने के बाद आप सिक्योरिटी फील्ड में कैसे आ सकते हैं, डिफरेंट डिफरेंट कंपनीज में आप कैसे काम कर सकते हैं, कौन कौन से लेवल्स पे काम कर सकते हैं, स्टार्टअप्स में क्या एक माहौल होता है, एमएनसीज में कौन सा माहौल होता है और कितने डिफरेंट डिफरेंट जॉब रोल्स परफॉर्म करने पड़ते हैं, रिसर्च वर्क कैसे करें सिक्योरिटी में, अब कॉन्फ्रेंसेस कितनी इंपॉर्टेंट होती है कि नहीं होती हैं, और मैनेजर पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से इंटरव्यू में क्या पूछा जाता है, आप एज अ रोड मैप के बारे में हम बात करेंगे। तो स्टार्ट करते हैं। आज के हमारे गेस्ट हैं दिग्विजय। आज हम इनकी जर्नी के बारे में जानेंगे। स्टार्ट करते हैं। हाय दिग्विजय, प्लीज इंट्रोड्यूस योरसेल्फ।
Hey, hi Nitin. So my name is Digvijay Singh, and I'm basically a security engineer. I have been in this field more than a decade. I mean, I'm still trying to learn. I did my master's from, VIT Vellore. Yeah, almost every part in security, like application security, blue teaming. I did a lot of red teaming also. And this is where I gain. And the best part about me is I'm a self-taught. Yeah, that's what.
आपका इंटरेस्ट कैसे बना इस फील्ड में?
So security की field में, I mean, my interest was not exactly like जो generally लोगों का होता है कि they first try to hack their college, university websites and then they do all those things. My interest was entirely different. And it made me think because when I joined the Vellore, so during that time I was seeing everybody is behind the DSA, and I was also just running behind the DSA, trying to learn a lot of codings. It was just a rat race. And then I thought that if I have to crack and if I have to get a really good placement, then it is not going to work. So I started to explore some other fields also where I can do it. So during that time, cybersecurity was on boom. I discussed these things with one of my professor. He only helped me. So he was doing actually the PhD in the database security. So he helped me. Okay, you go and try to find out something in database security. So that's where I started learning about the security SQL injection. So back in 2011 and 10, uh, not much SQL injection tutorial. You will be able to get only the error based and those things. So I wrote a research paper into the SQL injection, blind, Boolean, time based, all those things. I spent more than a month whole night sitting, reading the journals and all those things. And then I published one of my first paper, and the university granted me a reward also. The complete semester, they gave me research-based learning, and the whole semester I did not join any of the classes. I used to sit either into the library and sitting either into my professor's cabin, writing a research paper. And yeah, this is what majorly I started to, doing the security. That was my first footprint in security, publishing a research paper. And luckily, my research paper was got very famous, and it was into the journal, Springer Journal, very renowned journal. And then from there, I started learning all those security things, started doing the projects, started doing the secure coding. That's where I got to know that, okay, coding is required to be in a security, but not to the competitive coding. You need to be write a secure coding. And then I started doing a pen testing and I got the job. This is how my career was, not hacking a college website, phishing, all those things, no, nothing.
आप अपने थोड़े ग्रेजुएशन के बारे में बताएं। ग्रेजुएशन कहाँ से किया, किस में किया?
Okay, so my graduation was from Indore. I did my BCA, and after completing a school, I don't know what I have to do because most of my family members, they were from the commerce background. They did CA, so everybody was a CA. I was the first engineer, so I don't know what I have to do it. So I just went ahead. मेरे पापा ने मुझे पैसे दिए कि जस्ट गो एंड फिल अ सीए फॉर्म एंड बीकॉम में एडमिशन ले लो, बट व्हाट आई डिड इज आई विथ वन ऑफ माय फ्रेंड, ही सेड कि बीकॉम में एडमिशन मत ले, जस्ट गो टू बीसी सम कॉलेज एंड पैसा भर के फीस भर दे। आई व्हाट आई डिड इज आई वेंट टू द कॉलेज आईपीएस, टुक द एडमिशन, मैंने फीस भी भर दी। मेरी फैमिली को ये पता था कि हाँ इसने बीकॉम में एडमिशन ले लिया और सीए की भी प्रिपरेशन कर रहा है। मैं डेली कॉलेज चला जाता था ये बोल के कि मैं सीए की प्रिपरेशन कर रहा हूँ। एक सेमेस्टर के बाद मेरी फैमिली को पता चला कि मैंने बीसीए में एडमिशन ले लिया एंड मेरे फादर ने मेरी फीस देना बंद कर दिया। सो मैंने मेरी सिस्टर के हाथ पैर जोड़े। नाउ शी इज नो मोर, शी हेल्प मी अलॉट। उसने उसने मुझसे कमिटमेंट लिया था कि बीसीए करने के बाद यू हैव टू गो टू सम रेपुटेटेड कॉलेज, ईदर इट शुड बी एनआईटी, आईआईटी और वेल्लोर। सो मैंने उसे कमिटमेंट दिया था, ओके आई विल गो। देन फिर मैंने एमसीए की कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम की तैयारी स्टार्ट की एंड आई गॉट अ रैंक अंडर 100 AIR1 इन वेल्लोर, and that's where I started doing the MC and all those things. Yeah.
सो आप अपनी एमसी की जर्नी बताएं, आपने वीआईटी में कौन कौन से सब्जेक्ट्स पढ़े, क्या एमसीए में।
So VIT, VIT during that time, VIT has a very good curriculum. So मैंने अपने NITs के फ्रेंड से जब हम लोगों का कोर्स करिकुलम क्रॉस वेरीफाई किया, देन वी आइडेंटिफाइड इट दैट वी यूज टू लर्न not only C, C++ and Java, but advanced Java, Servlet, because back 2011 Servlet and JSP programming was very famous और हम लोग वो पढ़ते थे। We have to do a complete project, and it's mostly a research based learning where you need to choose a subject and you need to write a research paper, and that research paper either should publish into a IEEE or somewhere, and the project should be mostly to the technical project on a very small note. So and then Python and the PHP also. Data warehousing was one of my favorite subjects. That's where I started learning the SQL injection and the entire database security and all those things. Not just a traditional database, but the data warehousing. Pervasive computing was one of mobile computing. Mobile computing, not just Android development. It's like how the GSM network works and all those things, digital multimedia. So these are very advanced subjects back in 2011. People generally haven't heard about those subjects, and we used to learn these subjects into the Vellore. So I always thankful to Vellore. They have given me really great opportunity, and I utilize those opportunities, especially when it was a research-based learning. That's where I choose my own path.
ओके, सो आपकी जॉब क्या वीआईटी से ही लगी थी या
So
आउट ऑफ
yeah,
कॉलेज?
actually, I got a one placement in Vellore, but I dropped it out because I don't want to go into other field. I came back to my home, and my parents know that I don't have any offer in hand.
एक्चुअली
Then
आपको
what I did is,
डायरेक्ट लाइक सिक्योरिटी में जाना था, तो कॉलेज में
yes,
कंपनीज
yes, yes.
एज अ कंप्यूटर सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर लेने आती हैं।
Yeah, there were a lot of companies which came into Vellore. Even the mass recruitment has happened for Accenture, Wipro, and Infosys. Other than so many product MNC came, and when I came back to my home, my parents knew that I don't have any offer letter in hand, and I didn't reveal it out. I just wanted to move to Bangalore just to hunt down some organization who are specialized in security, and with the help of one of my friend, his name is Shoaib. He told my family, कि दिग्विजय को Bangalore जाने दो, and he has a great potential, he can crack the job something. So we came to Bangalore, and I don't know, फैमिली ने मुझे 1 महीने का टाइम दिया था, एंड मुझे नहीं पता था कि मैं क्या करूंगा। देन आई स्टार्टेड प्रिपेयरिंग द इलिटनेस। मैंने कहा एटलीस्ट अब सॉफ्टवेयर में जॉब लेते हैं। So luckily one night I was scrolling the Facebook job post, and there was a one post posted by a one guy from a company called Palladian. It was very renowned company in security space, especially cyber security services. They used to do a VAPT SOC and all those things. मैं वहां गया, मैंने इंटरव्यू दिया. There were around 100 people. I was the last guy into that entire interview cycle. And मेरा last interview हुआ था, I still remember, on the 8th 8 p.m. in the evening. And they hired me. They told me that, okay, we are going to give you 10,000. Are you ready? I said yes, I am ready. Then the next question he asked me, when you can join. I said that I can join by tomorrow. The next day was the 2nd October. So they put it me into their SOC team. And that too, the work was just to, anti-phishing. I need to monitor and I need to identify what are all the domains they are monitoring. Those are phishing domains or not, not those things. So I worked there just for 1 year because I already knew that pen testing, application security. Then taking that experience and applying to the core application security company, and that's where I got the second job into the Paytm.
ओके सो
Yeah.
इंटरव्यू क्वेश्चंस में लाइक एज अ फ्रेशर आपको क्या क्या क्वेश्चन पूछे गए, कुछ याद हो, या फिर आप अगर अभी क्वेश्चन
Uh,
पूछते हो ये
yeah.
इसमें, तो आप क्या देखते हैं
So
लाइक?
during that time, when it comes to the SOC, they mostly ask the network related questions. 2014 era was when the security market was not aware. Now, coming back to now 2024, so people are more aware. The interview standard has been increased. We generally ask if I have to take, because I also take a lot of interviews. So if we have to take an interview for any fresher, it's basically depend on which role are you taking. So first thing, we always go and ask how good a person is writing in a code, because now the demand is, you have to do a lot of automation. Manual things cannot be done, and it cannot be scaled. So we first go and ask the normal basic coding practices, how they can write the code. The second thing is basics about the security, like are they no are they really aware about the fundamentals of security. Those fundamentals we generally ask. Then we ask how the three-way handshake happens, because this is generally for the pure fresher who are from the college grad. And if they know all those things, then we try to raise the bar. We try to understand whether they know that what exactly the application securities are, because now I'm seeing a lot of bug bounty hunters comes. So they know already those things. Then if they know already those things, then we try to grind them as much as possible, from asking the exploitation till going ahead and fixing it, the vulnerabilities for the application side. And sometime I ask the question for a multiple vulnerability, and what could be the possible single fix, so that developer can go and fix in a one place and all the vulnerabilities got fixed. This is mostly from the security application security side. I also takes care about the DevSecOps. So DevSecOps is a purely automation side. So it's based on the requirement side. And if it's an infrastructure security, so we mostly ask the questions related to the fundamentals of networking and the fundamentals of operating systems. How operating system works. What are all the things we can do to mitigate if any issue occurs. So these kind of things we generally ask.
ओके सो आपने सेकंड पेटीएम में किया, देन उसके बाद जितनी जितनी कंपनीज में काम किया वहाँ पे किस रोल में काम किया, लाइक प्रीवियस
Hmm.
रोल में, पर्टिकुलर रोल में क्या करना होता है, कौन सी टेक्नोलॉजीज पे काम करना होता है, उसके बारे में थोड़ा बताएं एग्जांपल देके.
So, Paytm, I was the founding engineer in Paytm. One of the DevOps general manager, he hired me. And my first project in Paytm, it was like handling Akamai. So there was a incident happened. They told me that, okay, go and fix all this vulnerability on Akamai. It's a WAF. First of all, I don't know what exactly the WAF. That was the first time I took the WAF as a challenge. I implemented all those security rules, and all of a sudden, the Paytm stopped functioning, because the hit goes to the gateway and the request get bounced. all of the people, because Paytm was growing crazily back in 2016. People started to, tweeting, and all of a sudden, few of the general managers and VPs, they came to me and they said, "What you have done?" I said, "You told me that do it. I did it." The best part was I don't know how to roll back it. I was completely sweating. Almost 50 to 100 people were surrounding me and started shouting me. I thought, okay, I'll lose this job. Then I went ahead, took a sip of water and tried to calm down myself. Then I did the rollback. I don't know how did it, but it went it. So I always ask. This is what learning for me, and I'll give to, I'll pass this message to all of you through your channel. You should always have a plan B as a rollback backup, whatever automation you are doing it, because you don't know in a next second what exactly gonna happen with your automation. Automation is a good thing, but always a rollback. Don't delete, disable it, but don't delete it, and keep always rollback plan handy. So this was my first learning. After Paytm, I moved to Visa. After working for 3 years, building a lot of solutions and building the entire Paytm core team, I moved to Visa. Visa was since Paytm was a very new technology tech stack I worked in. My dream was to go and understand and learn the entire payment ecosystem, how credit card, debit card, real-time system works. That's where I got how the merchant, issuer, acquirer, all these things. These terms we generally heard, but we don't know how these terms works generally. So I learned all those things in Visa. I used to do a lot of source code review and threat modeling, architecture design review, and that's where if you have to know about the tech stack, if you have to know about how the complete ecosystem works, like a healthcare system, like a payment system, then the best area and the best possible things to understand all those things are go read the architecture. That will give you a solid informations about what exactly this ecosystems is. But then after visa journey was just a 1.5 year. I got an opportunity from the Singapore for the Grab Financial Group. Then I joined the Grab. Almost 2 year I was there in Grab. Due to some mishap happen at my family, then I came back to India and I was looking for a job. So it was really difficult post COVID. So I got a job in Show as a cloud security lead, and that's where I did a lot of cloud, because in when I was working in Grab, so in Grab, I was doing the SaaS, DaaS, CI/CD implementation, and then I did
Can you explain a
one
little
of
bit
their.
more as a SaaS dev?
So SAST is mostly static application security, where you don't need to go to the pen testing of application. You just need to scan the code line by line. You need to find out where exactly the vulnerabilities are into the code, and these things can be easily automated with the multiple tools by invoking into your CI/CD pipeline. Not only for the SaaS, but I did the implementation for container also. And then there was one of their business entity was OVO. It was Indonesia's payment application, same like a Paytm. So for them, I built a complete detection and response system based on the Wazoo, and it was an agentless solution. So Wazoo was if people don't know, then Wazoo is a very solid, powerful SIM. The core is POSIX. So I used to write a rule. First, I built the entire uh, data pipeline injected into the Wazoo, and then wrote a lot of rules for the GCP as well as for AWS based on the use cases which we have defined it. The use cases are like how someone can do attack, what are all the services might get exposed, like if someone has intentionally or unintentionally opened the public bucket, open internet 0.0.0/0. And so there were more than 100 use cases, and around 150 to 170 rules which we created, and then the rules fine tuning, all those things I did it. When I came back, because the OVO was on GCP as well as on AWS, so I had a solid understanding about these two platforms. Then I came back to Meesho. I took the opportunity to Meesho was the same like e-commerce. I already had an experience from the e-commerce and payment, so I did not get much challenges to implement all those things. Here in Meesho also, I implemented the SOC and the cloud security initiatives. We did a lot of red teaming activities. We identify where are all those gaps, those things. After in Meesho, I one of my senior, he reached out to me that he was building a security team. So I joined the Cohesity. So if people don't know, so the Cohesity is a data backup and recovery. Not exactly similar like what Dell EMC, but they are modern and they have a ransomware protection. They are purely into the system engineering, Linux operating system. So that's where my attraction. I got a lot of traction. And, since last 1 year, I'm still struggling to understand because, operating system is the core of any security and it has so many things to do it. That's one of the hardest challenge which I have taken now, and I'm still trying to learn every day. Sometime, the chat GPT and all those things, I go and try to find out. I did not get the solution. Those are the core research area.
ओके ओके सो आपने डिफरेंट डिफरेंट रोल पे काम किया तो पर्टिकुलर रोल कितना डिफरेंट है लाइक जैसे आपने स्टाफ सिक्योरिटी इंजीनियर पे काम किया लाइक फिर अगेन देन क्लाउड सिक्योरिटी पे काम किया तो कोई रोल में भी डिफरेंस आता है रोल्स एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज उसके अकॉर्डिंग वर्क
Yes,
चेंज होता
yes.
है
So yeah, work change hota hai. The reason is there are two things. One is a IC individual contributor, and one is you are just delegating kind of lead or manager role. So in dono mein there is a lot of difference. Someone who has a solid hands-on experience, then he can go to the staff and he can be good in a lead or a manager role. But someone who is already into the manager role, then he cannot go back to do, as an individual contributor because it's a challenge for him because he used to delegate the work. उसका काम ही था कि उसे work. Now he has to do it. So his thought process might get changed and he feel stuck. So this has happened with me initially when I joined the Curiosity for 1 or 2 months, but my experience of a lead and manager was just 2 to 3 years. Even during that time also, I used to do a lot of hands-on. Later on, I identified it's not because of manager to staff, it's because of the technology shift. Previously, I was into the payment. Since last 10 year, I was into the payment and e-commerce. So I know the whole ecosystem, how these things works generally, the architecture side, maybe the technology change, maybe the language platform change, but architectures are mostly the same. But here the technology was entirely different. So those challenges I faced. But yeah, staff to lead, though the roles are similar, staff is same like a engineering manager role, but staff has to do his own responsibility. It's more like a technical hands-on. Whereas the engineering manager in security, they have to, define the OKR, they have to just follow up with all those things, delegate the works and mentor them, not to the technical side, but from the operational sides of it. So yeah, there is a huge difference, and there is a huge delta when it comes to these two positions.
ओके सो आपने इतनी डिफरेंट डिफरेंट कंपनीज में काम किया लाइक स्टार्टअप एमएनसीज तो कितना डिफरेंट वर्क होता है वर्क कल्चर वहाँ पे होता है लाइक स्टार्टअप में करने के क्या फ़ायदे हैं और एमएनसीज में क्या फ़ायदे
So
हैं कितना
mhm.
एक्सपोजर मिलता है और कितना वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस है
So I would say that the startup has their own different ecosystem, and MNC has their own different ecosystem and working culture. When you go to any startup, early age startup, then you are onboarding to a flight. um, onboarding to a flight, and that can, take off at any point of time. The speed, you need to match a lightning speed. But when it comes to the MNC, you know you have a streamline, a kind of rail, or anything you can say. Things are streamlined, well organized, well processed. You have to do the single jobs on a daily basis. If you are a code reviewer, you will be doing just a code review, code review, code review. If you are a pen tester, then you have to do a pen testing, pen testing, pen testing. But the same thing is not in a startup. In a startup, you will be one or two guys. Someone will call you for cloud security, someone will call you for application security, someone will call you for threat hunting, someone will call you for some compliance things, and someone will call you just to discuss third party legal things. And someone will call you, hey, someone is doing a fraud, so sometime you need to involve in a fraud investigations also. So these things are different in startups. You get different flavors of foods. I would say different flavors of different cuisines you will get in a startup, and in MNC you will get only Indian, Mexican kind of cuisines. So I always encourage to the people, go to the startup, join the startup, learn how fast you can learn, because your learning curve always matters in your career. How fast you can adapt. What is your learning curve? Your learning curve should not be more than 20, 30 days or 45 days. If you have that kind of learning curve, then you adapt, and you can survive anywhere. So your survival should be a kind of cockroach survival. That's where your thought process and should always.
तो आपने रिसर्च वर्क भी किया है, उसके बारे में कुछ बताएं डेप्थ में, आपने किस पे रिसर्च करी,
Yeah.
रिसर्च कैसे करते हैं, रिसर्च
So
पेपर कैसे पब्लिश करते हैं?
actually, I used to do a research. Now I stopped doing a research paper and all those things. I think so last 4 or 5 years, because now I am seeing a lot of conference and all those things. These are just a corporate people. Few same people will come, same things. We do a lot more what they are doing it. I have personally feel, and I have done so many things what people are publishing it. If you can come and if you can discuss personally, I'll tell you all those things. But research wise, you need to pick up whatever job you are doing in your daily day-to-day routine. You will identify there is a gap. Just try to fill those gap by doing a research, and you can go and you can speak anywhere. This is how people are generally doing it, and this is how this research comes. So you need to identify what exactly you are doing and the delta which you are trying to fill the gap, or the delta which you are trying to fill it. If you are able to fill it, do a research, try to improvise, and once you will be able to improvise it, once you will be able to complete those delta, then your research will be ready in your hand.
सो लाइक कुछ लेटेस्ट ट्रेंड बता दे सिक्योरिटी में, जिसमें आगे फ्यूचर में रिसर्च वर्क बहुत ज़्यादा हो सकती है, एक आइडियाज़ मिल जाए.
Mostly, if you really want to see the this AI hype is going a lot, and people can go and people can learn about the AI security. That's where one of the area. If you really want to go and do old school method, then you can go to the operating system side, and the same old operating system methods you can implement it to the Kubernetes side or container side, because ultimately those are operating systems. So whatever new attack vectors and new methods which are coming into the container escape, Kubernetes, uh, agent bypass, or all those things, the Falcon bypass, the same things comes from your operating system side, like a symlink attack. So in operating system, if you have to do a privilege escalation through the symlink, that thing you can replicate into the Kubernetes, and that would be through the same link. And if any Falcon agent or if any security agent or any service is running, that can be easily bypassed. This is one of the things. And the misconfiguration side. Apart from that, you really want to do core research, which take a lot of time. Then finding a vulnerability, then go and try to do different methods of, I would say, a code signing, up cryptography, how storage of secret keys and all those things happen. So these are very hot topic in a research, especially the cryptography and not applied cryptography, but the hardcore cryptography.
ओके सो आपने फ्रीलांस भी किया हुआ है तो उसकी जर्नी के बारे में बताएं फ्रीलांस.
Lot of freelance project I did it till 1 year back. I used to do it, but after that I wanted to take a rest because I was gaining a lot of health. I mean the weight and the health issue. So I wanted to balance my personal life. So freelancing project, people used to reach out to me. Initially, all this started just with the word of mouth, and I used to help people just to help it. Someone who is very new in startup world and they want or their connection wants some help, so I used to guide him. I used to do a advisory, and sometime I used to connect two people. Hey, there is a job, you can go, he knows me, you can go and try to. So this is how people started liking me. It was just free of services, just giving back to the community, to the organization. Then after some time, when I started to say I don't have much time, I cannot have. That's how the people offering me the monetization side. Hey, we can pay you and all those things. Just spare some 2 3 hours time, and this is not going to impact on your existing jobs because of business and all those contract side. So I started to help them. They started to monetize me, started to pay me based on the hourly rates. And it was around some 8 9 year I did the freelancing. Yeah, this is what.
कुछ फ्रीलांसेस के प्लेटफॉर्म भी तो होते हैं, वो आप कुछ बता पाएँ फ्रीलांस के कौन कौन से प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं.
Freelance platforms are there, but to me, those are not useful for security. Those are mostly meant for the developers, because if you go to those platforms and if you go and do some research on security side, so you will not be able to identify a fruitful, the projects are very low budgeting. Instead of that, you should go and do a full-time job, don't waste time. And then there are a lot of people who are doing a very less amount of budgeting, uh, not from the India, but from other countries like Pakistan and the Bangladesh. So they do all those things. So that's a waste of time. I generally won't encourage people. Instead, go try to find out a good full-time job that will give you a more benefit. You will be able to learn a lot, and the market is really good for security, especially even now also. So that's my personal advice for each and every.
ओके सो आपने नई नई चीज़ों को सीखने के लिए कौन कौन से रिसोर्स फॉलो करते हैं, अपडेट रहने के लिए कौन सी न्यूज़ सीखते हैं.
बेसिकली नई चीजों को सीखने के लिए आपको फर्स्ट थिंग इज कि आपके एनवायरमेंट, आपके सराउंडिंग्स में, आपकी कंपनी में क्या चल रहा है. दैट्स द फर्स्ट थिंग you should know. Try to learn those things once you are good, I mean intermediate, because nobody is expert, even I am not expert. So once you are intermediate, so मैं suggest करूँगा कि then go try to discuss some of your peers or some other folks who are outside of your organization, what they are doing, and try to check what technology is. Like back in a day, हम लोग नॉर्मल सर्वर्स यूज करते थे. Now the containerization has come, then the Kubernetes has come. So moving forward, future में कुछ और आ जाएगा. So these technology, there in each technology there is a security section always, even in their documentation. Just follow those documentation. First, just go and learn about the technology, and then you will slowly start to learn about, the security side. Because concept-wise security is similar in every technology. What you need to do is you need to understand the technology, you will understand the security. Yeah.
आपने कुछ टॉक एंड कॉन्फ्रेंसेज अटेंड करी हैं कोई, और कितनी इम्पोर्टेंट होता है करना?
Uh, I have attended couple of conferences. Few conference I generally recommend to go, but that too depends on the interest because मैंने ये भी देखा है कि लोग कॉन्फ्रेंसेस में जस्ट फॉर द बिजनेस पर्पस प्रोडक्ट सेल करने, स्वैग लेने, घूमने फिरने, हैंग आउट करने जाते हैं, या मोस्टली बग बाउंटी हंटर्स जाते हैं. दैट्स जस्ट अ वन पार्ट ऑफ थिंग्स. अगर आपको लिटरली कुछ रिसर्च या कुछ ट्रेनिंग जो आपको लग रही है कि यू नीड टू गो, बिकॉज जनरली कॉन्फ्रेंसेस में जो ट्रेनिंग्स होती हैं, दोज मटेरियल्स, दोज रिसर्च यू कैन इजीली गेट इट ऑन इंटरनेट. इट्स टोटली डिपेंड ऑन योर इंटरेस्ट, and you can easily find it out over the internet also. So I generally won't recommend to go for a training in conference. 2 दिन में आप कुछ नहीं सीख सकते हो, because until and unless those materials, those details are not available on internet, then you can go. Otherwise कोई ऐसी नई न्यू टॉक, कुछ नया रिसर्च जो लिटरली आपको लगता है कि you should go and you should listen it, and you'll be able to understand it, then you can go. But it's just a waste of money to me personally. कि $2,000 $3,000 की ट्रेनिंग लेना, it's just a waste of money. Everything is available on internet. Conferences are mostly for the business. Companies organize करती हैं अपने brands को, products को, people को, and if you have been sent through your company just to see, just to look the product and vendors, then it's good. But for me personally, I generally won't recommend conferences to go, because you can see in conferences, if you go, you can feel it. There is nothing. Just few startups, service-based startup come, they will do a training, they will earn money, and you learn, you go back to your home. When you do a research, you'll find out all those details over the internet. So generally won't recommend. You go, you publish your research, that's a good thing. You go if you want to do networking, that's a good thing. Understanding a market trend, that's a good thing. And yeah,
कॉन्फ्रेंसेस के आप नाम बता रहे थे कुछ इंडियंस में जो है फेमस?
इंडिया में तो आई वुड से एक या दो ही कॉन्फ्रेंसेस है जो अच्छी हैं. अभी रिसेंटली बिसाइड्स का काफी हाइप है, but again, that's a pure, I mean, I should not say that's a pure business. Null is a good, you can go. And apart from that, if you have really good research work, or if you really want to meet a really good folks, then go for a DEF CON. Not India DEF CON, not recommended. Go for a DEF CON US, Hacking Village, if you want to do some participation, or a Black Hat. Those are really, really good conferences you can go. Otherwise, most of
आर
the
एस ए
conferences just run.
कॉन्फ्रेंसेस, आर एस ए?
RSA is one of the good conference, but even this time I heard that they are mostly doing the business now.
ओके. सो आप एक एज अ फ्रेशर कोई रेज्यूमे कैसे बनाए, उसमें सिक्योरिटी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से प्रोजेक्ट कैसे शो करें, या कुछ प्रोजेक्ट आइडियाज आप दे पाए?
Okay. As a fresher, see, again, it depends. In which security is very vast, yeah. Security is very big and very vast. Whatever project, so जैसा मैंने आपको इनिशियली मेंशन किया कि आप जो टेक्नोलॉजी को अडॉप्ट करते हो, उसमें एक सेक्शन हमेशा सिक्योरिटी का होता है. ओके, सो आप जो भी प्रोजेक्ट बना रहे हो, लाइक आप नॉर्मल वेब एप्लीकेशन ही बना रहे हो, तो वेब एप्लीकेशन जब आप बना रहे हो तो वो कितना सिक्योर होना चाहिए, उसको आप हाईलाइट करो कि दिस इज व्हाट माय अचीवमेंट इज, बिकॉज वेब एप्लीकेशन कोई भी बना सकता है, बट व्हाट यू हैव डन एक्स्ट्रा, सो उसको आप हाईलाइट करो। अगर आप कुछ क्रिप्टोग्राफिकली कुछ सिक्योरिटी पे काम कर रहे हो, तो आप उसको हाईलाइट करो कि व्हाई दिस इज सो सिक्योर। ओके, बिकॉज ऑफ सिक्योरिटी थिंग्स। एंड अगर आप कोई नया ऐसा सेटअप बना रहे हो या कोई नया आर्किटेक्चर बना रहे हो, या लेट सपोज आप कोई मॉनिटरिंग सिस्टम बना रहे हो, तो उसमें आप ये हाईलाइट करो कि इसके की फीचर्स क्या हैं, वाई। यू शुड आस्क द क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम योर सेल्फ, और जब आप उसको पूछोगे ना, दोज थिंग्स यू नीड टू पुट इट इन योर रेज्यूमे। सो मैंने मैंने जब कॉलेज में जो प्रोजेक्ट्स थे, मेरे सारे सिक्योरिटी के प्रोजेक्ट्स थे। वन ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट वाज द फाइनल ईयर प्रोजेक्ट, कि उसमें मैंने कंप्लीट एक नॉर्मल वेब एप्लीकेशन बनाया था, बट उस वेब एप्लीकेशन की थीम ओवास टॉप 10 से थी। कि जो ओवास टॉप 10 2013 था, 13 को मैंने यूज किया था। उसमें सारी वल्नरेबिलिटीज थी कि आप कोड में जाके ये लाइन ऑफ कोड में ये इशू है, इसको इस तरीके से फिक्स करना है। सो दोज वर लाइक अ रिकमेंडेशन। देन मैंने एक प्रोजेक्ट जो बनाया था डेटा वेयर हाउसिंग और डेटा सिक्योरिटी पे, जो डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड डेटाबेस सिस्टम पे था, कि उसमें किस तरीके से, किस ग्रैन्युलैरिटी पे डीबी को एक्सप्लॉइट किया जा सकता है। सीक्वल इंजेक्शंस के मल्टीपल टाइप्स जो थे, क्वेरीज जो थी। देन मेरा एक एक जो प्रोजेक्ट था, वो प्योरली SIM पे था, स्पेसिफिकली ओपन सोर्स SIM पे, बिकॉज स्टिल अगर आप मार्केट में जाओगे तो स्टार्टअप्स आर नॉट यूजिंग एनी पेड SIM, आई मीन एंटरप्राइज लेवल, बिकॉज दे आर हाईली इन कॉस्ट, आई मीन बजट इज सो हाई। तो आप ओपन सोर्स में क्या क्या ऐड ऑन कर सकते हो, लाइक जब मैंने ओसेक के रूल्स लिखना स्टार्ट किए थे, so why I started writing all those rules, because those were not there in the open source community. So I wrote it down. I just sold it solution. कॉलेज में मैंने लिखा था, and 3 साल बाद किसी कंपनी ने मुझे रीच आउट किया, then I sold that solution. So this is how you will build all those things, and these are very basic things. Now if I talk with any college grade, mostly people knows, but they don't know what they have to write it. They have to write these things. These are the security things I have done it. Put it in your resume. Whatever technology you are doing it, you should put that these are the security recommendation has been given. Put it, and that is how you can build your resume.
ओके, सो वन लास्ट क्वेश्चन, आप रोड मैप एक बता पाएँ सिक्योरिटी गाय के लिए कि क्या क्या स्टेप वो फॉलो करके ऐसा इस एप्लीकेशन सिक्योरिटी इंजीनियर बन सकता है?
एज ए एप्लीकेशन सिक्योरिटी इंजीनियर आपको अगर बनना है, तो फर्स्ट थिंग इज यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड द टेक्नोलॉजी वाइज की क्या क्या टेक्नोलॉजी पे कोडिंग होती है। आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि गो एंड राइट राइट डाउन द कोड, जस्ट टू नो। The second thing is what are all the type of vulnerabilities. The third thing is just go and practice those vulnerability in dummy application, because this is how I started. BWAP is one of my favorite. OWASP Juice Shop is one of my favorite. And once you are done with this, so मेरे समय में Hack the Box was not that much famous, so we used to use Vulnerable Hub. Image download करके local में we used to exploit it. So play the CTF. Hack the Box is one of the good thing. Try Hack Me is one of the good thing. I still play Hack the Box in Hack the Box since last 10 years. And I have a really good reputation. I don't want to reveal it, but yeah, play Hack the Box. Hack the Box से आपको ना attack scenarios मिलते हैं. Those scenarios you can implement it, and those thing is going to help you in a red teaming, in a blue teaming. Someone is trying to attack it in particular that scenario, so how you can mitigate it. So if you have a attack mindset, then obviously when you are working in blue team side, so you can quickly say, hey, these are the pattern, I can write it down something for you, it will get detected. So this is how you can do it. So these are the recommendation I generally go and tell to the people. The more you will be offensive, the more you will be able to secure yourself because you know the techniques and tactics.
थैंक यू सो मच, आपने इतना टाइम दिया, इतना इन्फॉर्मेशन हमारे साथ शेयर की, थैंक यू सो मच।
Yeah, thank you. No issue, no issue. And thanks a lot for inviting me to this platform. I mean, I'm glad. Thank you.
आई होप आप सबको हमारा आज का पॉडकास्ट काफी इन्फॉर्मेटिव और वैल्यूएबल लगा होगा, काफी कुछ जानने को मिला होगा। सो आपको अगर हमारे पॉडकास्ट ऐसे ही पसंद आते हो, अपने फ्रेंड्स एंड कलीग के साथ भी शेयर करें। एंड आपको कोई डाउट हो, कोई क्वेश्चन हो, आप कमेंट नीचे कर सकते हैं। और आपको मेरे से 1-to-1 सेशन करना हो तो टॉपमेट की लिंक्स नीचे डिस्क्रिप्शन में दे रखी है, आप मेरे से वहां जाके सेशन बुक करके आप नीचे 1-to-1 सेशन ले सकते हैं। सो टिल देन, स्टे ट्यून्ड, स्टे हैप्पी, थैंक यू।